Let's bring in Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor, and author of Trump's America. Well, Trump's administration is going to be a lot different over the next 2 years. Not only are there personnel changes, but there's a new balance of power. What advice do you give the president with a House that is now Democrat, and after putting the, I guess, the overture, the friendly overture out to Nancy Pelosi yesterday?
Look, I think the right thing to do is to congratulate her. They won. To offer to work on substance such as infrastructure reform and investment, and to be prepared to have his lawyers fight their lawyers wherever they want to get involved in investigatory hearings. So, there's a pretty clear model for how to do this. Clinton did it pretty well. Obama did it very well. And I think that it's possible that you'll have a sort of a two-front behavior where the president, on the one hand, has an olive branch saying, here are things we can work on together. Right. And on the other hand, they're involved in hand-to-hand combat. And I suspect that's what will happen.
We have seen so much hand-to-hand combat. Everybody's been dug in on their sides. But when you were Speaker and Bill Clinton was president, how did the Democrat president work with the Republican leader?
Well, remember, it also degenerated towards the end into the impeachment and the whole investigations. And I would actually echo what Senator Mitch McConnell said in a very wise interview yesterday, that if all you do is end up in investigations, which unfortunately we did in '98, it actually hurts you because the country wants to see things work. The country doesn't want to have the House Democrats spend all day, every day in investigations and in open warfare against the president. So Clinton and I understood from day one that we really represented the country, not just our parties, and we understood that we both had an interest in getting big things done. Partly, I guess, just our generation, but we had not run in order to do little things. And so we did welfare reform, we did Medicare reform, we balanced the budget for 4 years, we had the largest capital gains tax cut in history. All those were an effort on both of our sides to find a common ground that would really move the country forward. And I think on health reform, on drug pricing, on a whole range of areas, on the issue of infrastructure, there are common interests if the president's team and the Democrats in the House can have the patience to sit down and talk to each other.
With the crazy press conference yesterday and with several Democrats saying impeach, 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 and saying, they did this to us, so we're going to retaliate, is that going to hurt or help the president in 2020?
Look, I think if the president can set up 2 years of Nancy Pelosi presiding over crazies, that'll help him. But I think his bigger interest is, what does he want to get done for the country? What does the country want Washington to get done? And to the degree that, and I will give Bill Clinton credit, he brilliantly would come back on Medicare, Medicaid, environment, and education. No matter what you ask him, he'd come back and say, I'm really working hard on all these things, and I don't have time for all that stuff. And gradually built a contrast that got him reelected in '96, even though he'd had a terrible off-year election.
I think the
president has to focus.
I just think
if the president will focus on being president,
right.
I think that as opposed to being the leader of the opposition party to Nancy Pelosi.
Will that happen? Because he's known as the fighter. He'll fight back.
Of course he'll fight back. And I have no idea what he's going to end up doing. I think that there are a lot of good lessons to learn out of the election that we just had. I think the president is serious about getting reelected, but he's also serious about being a historic figure. If you look at what he's done with judges, what he's done with deregulation, what he's doing with North Korea, the president wants to be more than just a sparring partner with left-wing Democrats.
And if he wants the new NAFTA to get passed, do it in the lame duck session. Newt Gingrich, thanks so much.
Thank you.